what I really appreciate though is your perspective on IP when someone is going through a deal. What comes to my mind that I'm wondering about in particular is about the value of those assets, the value from that IP perspective. Those things are so intangible, I guess. So I'm hoping you can help me and our audience to
Yeah.
understand a little bit more about what this kind of intellectual property can mean to them, especially as owners in a deal.
Well, one of the things that I think about is most of that IP is stuck in the heads of an key employees, or the CEO that's running the actual company. And what I like to talk about is how do we help CEOs and founders go from like what does the service business or the company, what do they do, to what they own? And that mindset shift is totally different because what's happening is most companies are renting their expertise from the employees that they're hiring. So let's say it's a strategist and that strategist leaves the company, that IP walks right out of the door. So one of the things that we look at is like we look at what the capabilities are of said organization. And this is where AI gets really interesting, is when now you can, I call them capability pods, where you can have 8 to 12 agents actually running a certain function that's all based on your IP. And IP is really the checklist, the frameworks that you use, the just some of the tacit knowledge that's floating around that can be organized. All of that's not normally looked at as IP or anything valuable. But what I'm finding is like from an M&A perspective, a lot of buyers want to see that IP like show up on the balance sheet and what that, and maybe we could talk a little bit about what that looks like, but being able to productize that, and then we'll get into a little bit more about that. But the main thing is from an M&A perspective is having a really strong IP. It really increases your multiple. Specifically a service business, because that's who I normally work with. So service businesses, they get a multiple off of their revenue, but if they have the IP and the owned a proprietary access that they're giving their clients, that will increase their multiple. And they get like a blended valuation because they have service business revenue, plus they have, actual their IP that they own and they give access to clients.